If you own a hardware wallet, you will most likely have been asked to write down a set of words onto a piece of paper. If you didn't know, those 24 words are called recovery phrase. It's absolutely vital to keep them safe. If you lose it, there'll be no way to be able to recover your assets from your wallet. If someone gets a hold of your recovery phrase, it could access your wallet and potentially take all your assets without you knowing. So keeping something this important on this little piece of paper isn't a really good idea. It will not survive a fire or a flood. This is why most people would want to store the recovery keys onto a metal backup such as a crypto tag, a cobalt, or a block plate. At first, I was going to buy one of these until I saw the price that the company were charging for them, so I figured I'll make my own. I always loved designing things, so I was up for the challenge. There are a bunch of DIY steel seed backups out there. They all have their pros and cons. I didn't like the ones where you would be using a Dremel to scratch the words onto the metal. It just looks like kindergarten artwork at that point. The one that I liked the most was the one that uses steel washers and a bolt. As you can see, they use 12 washers and 2 additional washers, one for the front and one for the back to hide the actual words, and they use a bolt to hold everything together. It's pretty solid, as you can see, but the only thing I didn't like about it was that it was pretty bulky and it was somewhat hard to read once you start stamping the words onto the actual washers itself. As you can see, not really sure if you can actually see, but it's pretty hard to see. Place the bulky screws itself with this sleeker, more compact design. As you can see, it's quite tiny and flat, so it's pretty good. And as you can see, I've etched some designs onto it. For example, this one over here has the Ledger logo, and I have other examples where I put the Bitcoin logos and other things such as I've etched the front and the back as well to give it that extra bling, I guess. So I polished the front as well because a normal stainless steel it's a little bit dull, but it's not too bad, right? And the sides, as you can see right now, for a washer, when they actually stamp them, it's not really smooth at all. There's a little bit of imperfections from the stamping process. So in this one over here, you can see that it's quite smooth. I've smoothed out everything, and it's a much pleasant looking design than this one is. So it's basically up a choice of how far you want to go into your design, right? So I've evolved it from here to all the way over to here, and that's what I came up with. As you can see right here, it's a little bit harder to read once you stamp the letters onto the metal. So I decided to add a little more color onto the actual stamping itself. And with that, you can clearly see, you can actually see the words and the numbers of the corresponding words very easily versus the ones where you actually don't add any colors. And it really pops out easily for you to read. And I think it looks much nicer that way. My design is about a third the size of the actual other designs that are out there. I was able to fit all 24 words onto 4 washers, and by using only the first 4 letters, because the only reason why you can do that is because the first 4 letters for each word is absolutely unique throughout the whole BIP 39. So that's why you're able to really shrink it down quite a bit. So if you really wanted to actually just have the full words, you can, but it comes at a cost, right? Like the size would be a lot bigger. So if you wanted to do the same design as similar to what I have, you can make it a little bit smaller, but the height of it is you have to go at least with 12 washers because you can only fit the full word, which is 8 characters, one on each side of the actual washer. So now that you've seen all the different designs, which one would you rather have? So this is the first time that I'm making a YouTube video, so bear with me. I'm still kind of learning right now, and if I don't know if how many of you are actually interested in making one of these, please comment, like and subscribe, and if there's enough interest in this, I'll make up a following up video of how I actually created this.